Hello everyone and a very good evening to RPM Esports. We're here in Shanghai, so I should say Ni Hao. For the first race of the week, it's the first division, uh, starting around 9 of RPM Season 5. And like I said, we're in China, Shanghai, 16 corners on this track. And the first car going out is Rossi. And my name is RPM Bakker. In the comments booth, I see Chris Jones joining the chat. Good evening, Chris. Hope you're doing well. I don't need to ask you who you're supporting here, I guess. The Rusty Oil Can will be the first one set to the left. One of the drivers without racing line. RPM is changing their assist restrictions for season 6. There will only be one division left with racing line allowed in the corner. That's the RPM making itself ready for probably the middle of the division without a racing line. I already get some information sent that the comms is a bit quiet compared to the racing. If you guys can confirm if this works better, that would be great. First joining the chat as well. Get well soon. I only got some COVID and we're in China, so it's pretty typical for me this week. But thank you, Mr. Huss. Mr. Huss. Hope you are ready for your race tomorrow. And here we see Rusty Oil Can out braking himself. Doesn't invalidate because he doesn't get in any time. Is the game volume still too high? I can barely hear it myself, but I'll turn it down another notch. There you go. This should be it then. I don't even have, also don't have a romantic voice you want to hear, but I'm great. It's nice for you guys to think about my voice. Thank you, Mr. Glassy. We are still on board with Rusty Oilcan, who will be the first driver to set a time. He's followed by one of the Ferraris. Roosevelt actually getting a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Goran Potnar. And the first lap is a 134 forward. It's of course with that little mistake made by Goran Potnar is off. Zabiaka is on an hour lap, so the first car coming will be RPM Jones, who's way above the 135. Let's see if he could go for a lap. It's Gui going with the 135.1 and Ivan going with a 35 flat. Callum making his RPM debut and starting with the 33.9. Great lap from Callum there. His first quality lap in an official RPM session. Need to say here that Callum is the son of Inorganic, the Williams driver in 13 at the moment on an hour lap. Matty goes to a 133.6. We see Spivey in his Alfa Romeo 36 flat, right behind his teammate. Leaky crossed the line, also behind his teammate. So both Haas drivers are looking good again. I'm trying to see that's Inorganic passing the line on his out lap. But if Richie is coming towards the line, yes he is. Won't lie, another volume level down maybe. Well, I can arrange that for you. Don't worry. I need a good stream. 2. So I can't really. Yeah, I don't mind the engine sounds. So turn it down another notch. Hope this is alright for you guys on stream. It's important you guys get a good stream here. See Richie and Callum actually only 100 of a second apart from each other. So that's close between the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Mr. Colin joining in the chat. Hello, Mr. Colin. Long time no see in the YouTube channel, at least with me on comms. And trying to see, organic might be. Maybe Danos is the first one there. Danos is now into the hairpin. Onto the final corner. And Danos will cross line 34.028. Where's Inorganic now? Also in the final corner. Can he beat his son? It doesn't look like it. It's a 34.9 for him. He is close to his son. Second separating Callum and Inorganic. Zabiaka actually invalidated his lap. I believe RPM Jones is coming to the chicane now. Yeah, he invalidated his lap as well. Is out of ERS, so I reckon he's going on an in lap. These guys all just crossed the line, so we're gonna go on board with someone who didn't set a lap yet. My apologies. And that's Goran. We of course had that collision with Rozenbeertje, leading to a 5-place grid penalty as well for Rozenbeertje. Full lap on board here with the Aston Martin driver. Heading into this turn 1, where your line is so important. You could do a lot of braking by just downshifting and using the engine. It's a combination and easy on the throttle here, really easy to lose the car on the exit of that corner. Then a deep braking zone here. Slightly missing his apex, but long left-hander followed by a right-hander. Can be done full throttle for the guys with balls of steel. Followed by a heavy braking zone to the left again. Double left-hander. Onto the straight. And the chicane. Followed by the long right-hander onto the main straight. Well, I call that the main straight because that's the longest one. First DRS zone as well on this long straight. You see here the boardings and the rear wing opening as well. And then it's going to be heavy braking again for a hairpin all the way down to first gear. Short shift to the second from go around there and then on to the final corner. Can be done pretty fast. Go around takes it easy. And it's a 34.1 moving him into 6th place. Oh, Gooey is in the guard there. Spivey is coming towards the line. 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Not an improvement for him. Looks like a little mistake there from Snelle Henk. Rusty Oil can now towards the final corner as well. 3/10 up on his time, so that's great. For Rusty Oil can, he's currently P10 and moves up to P7. Then we see one of the Haas drivers coming as well. That's Matty, already in pole position. Decided to do a long out lap. He burn as much fuel as he can. Zabiaka is nowhere near P13 at the moment. We're halfway through quali and there's only 13 drivers who set a time so far. And it's gonna be 16 soon, because Roosevelt is now coming towards the line. And his time is a 35.4, moving him into P11 behind his teammate Gooey. And it looks like both Red Bulls are behind each other. Jones getting a little toe there maybe from Callum, his teammates. Of course, I don't know if they are in a party or now Jones missing the ideal line there. He's currently one of the guys who is way off target with a 143. Also Snelling, of course, in the 155. Now we move towards the Mercedes, who is coming towards the line. That looks to be Danos. See if Danos can improve. No, well, he's way off time. So not this lap. Sneller Hank is down on his time as well. Matty just misses out on an improvement. Leaky does an extra out lap. See what Zabiaka can do. The Mighty Frax is in front of him on an out lap, so here comes Zabiaka, and he moves into P7 right behind his teammate. There's a lot of people actually following their teammate. I believe Jones here on board with Jones again, who was trying to improve. Made that mistake in turn 1, but goes to a 33.8. So that's P3 for Jones behind his teammate. How surprising that both of the Red Bulls are behind each other as well. The Mighty Frax on board with him. The Italian stallion in his Ferrari. Nice car, man. Alpine moves over nicely. I see Alex Lewis. Good evening, Mr. Barker. What are your thoughts on China? I love Chinese food, that's for sure. And this Mighty Frax invalidates while we see Danos moving into pole. 33.5 from Danos. Richie mixed in. Yeah, could be better, Alex. I'm in a special quarantine comms booth here in Shanghai, so Gerlach is on an outlap. I'm trying to see who's coming. It looks to be one of the Aston Martins. No, it's not. Callum maybe, no. Jones is on an in lap. And Snelle Henk looks to be out of fuel. And we see one of the... Is it a Williams? Might as well be. Yeah, it's inorganic coming. But he's on 3 minutes and 17 seconds. So that's not gonna be an improvement. Is Richie, he sneaks into P3, so he's not gonna improve. Alex Lewis, who is also known as the entity, is just supporting half of the grid. I believe that gives you 50-50 on one of your favorites to win. Well, the drivers will be making themselves ready for one more stint. I got the feeling that some of the drivers actually did 3 stints already, but as Gerlach comes to the line with a 36.7, 16 place for him at the moment, and we see Callum and his Red Bull towards the line. Does improve with almost 3 tenths. 133.6. We see P3, P2, P3, P4, P5, all in the 33.6. So that's a real close battle. It looks like Callum is not using that much of his ERS either. Maybe he forgot to turn it on in the last step. Still improved. We're gonna have an eye out at least for the first cars who will do a lap. The final stint, it's the Mighty Fax who will start his final stint as first, while Inorganic and Rusty Oil Can might be on it already. This chat is now in the way. I don't know if no, the Rusty Oil Can did not invalidate. Inorganic did. So Rusty Oil Can will be the first one to set his final lap, as he won't be able to get around that quick anymore. Heading towards the final corner, turn 16, and on the throttle now, keep it as right as possible, and improves by over 3.5 tenths, but stays in P9. And now we're trying to see who's coming next. Will be GUI. DRS enabled, and an improvement of 3.5 tenths, moving him into P10. As the Mercedes of Simple just started a lap, yes. Trying to see any changes. I do see Matty coming towards line. Doesn't improve. Sneller Hank starts his lap. And there's an Aston Martin coming. It's Goran. Improves his lap but stays in P7. And now the first car coming will be the Mighty Frax. Didn't set a time. Oh, locks up massively there in the hairpin. Manages to get around. Now towards the line for at least one time, and it's a 35.2, moving him into P15. Trying to see while the Red Bull is coming to the line now. Callum is diving in. So that means, where's Mr. Jones? There is Mr. Jones. He's going towards the final corner, followed by one of the Alpha Tauris. But he's on 145 already, so that doesn't really matter. GUI on a 130 goes in. Sinful doesn't have a time yet. And takes it to P10. Matty out of the final corner. Can he take away pole from Danos? He sure can. It's 33 flat for Matty. Goran improves as well. P2 for Goran. Richie invalidates. Leaky moves behind his teammate 133.4. So it's a Haas front row. As all drivers cross the line, it's a P1, P2 for the Haas drivers. Goran with a great final lap moves himself into that top 3. Well, he didn't look to be close for the entire qualifying. He manages to pull his best lap off when it matters the most. Great qualifying from Danos in his Mercedes as well. Both Red Bulls looking good in P5 and P7. Richie looks to have a good pace around here. Invalidated on the final corner. Unlucky. But still in P6, everything to race for. Mr. Hicksy joining in the chat. Good luck, Alphas, Inorganic, and Callum. Great qualifying from Callum. Yes, it sure was. Could be worse for a debut. As we said, Matty and Leaky, both Haas drivers on the front row. Goran Potnar takes P3. Danos takes P4. Callum takes P5. That means there's 4 British drivers in the top 5. Richie in P6 in his known Ferrari. RPM Jones takes P7. Zabiaka P8. Rusty Hoyokin takes P9. Sinful takes P10. Rozenbeertje P11, but has a 5-place grid penalty, so will start 16. Means Snelle Henk, Gooey, Inorganic, Iver, and Spivey all move up a spot. The final 2 slots are for the Mighty Facts and Gala. While drivers are getting themselves ready, I will get myself ready and be with you before the race starts. Yes, the drivers, as you might have noticed, started their formation lap. Watching the tires, we see the entire grid, apart from Sinful and Spivey, on the hard tires. The hard tires, only 2 drivers going for a long first stint. At least aiming for it. You never know what happens with the safety cars. Or anything. You never know, you never know. Gerla, who is supposed to be last, has a Mercedes behind him. Probably Sinful. As Alex Lewis missed his prime chance to do co-coms with the mighty Bakker. Yes, that's very unfortunate. And I would love to answer the question. Oh, that's a bit awkward there, Mr. Sinful. Oh, he's already giving his show away. He might have some family in the stands there, you never know. Waiting for Sinful to take his spot on the grid, his 10th place. I hope he gets better off the line than he just got back on track. He's definitely making a rush for it. We wait for the lights, and I'll give the famous let's go, or okay, let's go, Mr. Jones. It's 5 lights, and they're off. Okay, let's go. And it's a great start from Matty. And looking at Callum on the outside there of Danos already. See some, and a little mistake there from Callum. And and there's a lot happening now in the first corner already. It's RPM Jones. I see Zabiaka and Gui all the way falling back. We're gonna have a little look into that if all drivers manage to get out without any damage. Zabiaka looks fine. Taking a look at the car of Jones. Looks like both end plates are still on. Of course, can't see if there's any side pod damage as TAS is not running. And AlphaTauri that was off actually managed to get back into racing already again. As things stand, Matty took leadership. Goran moved into P2, managed to overtake Leaky, while both Haas drivers looked to have a good start. Positions gained at this moment. It's Rusty Oil Can, 5 places up. Now looking around the outside of Callum. Callum, good defending there from the Red Bull driver. Doesn't give his spot away. And we don't see... The Mighty Frax actually made a lot of positions up because I remember him being 16th or 17th, and we see one driver diving in. That's sinful in the pit lane. And by the looks of it, both Zabiaka and Jones didn't miss out that much on time. Jones is 3 seconds behind Gerlach in P15. And that's Callum off, and Callum actually hit the wall as well. Misses his complete front wing. Tries to rejoin safely. There's a virtual safety car. And all those guys got an illegal overtake, probably. There's a lot happening right now. I believe this is just illegal overtake on illegal overtake. I don't know what I'm watching now. Oh, this is some interesting racing, this. Callum goes fast again, but keeps getting illegal overtakes, I guess. Looks to be solved, but look at the gap now from Callum to Gui. It's 19 seconds, and all those guys behind could caught up in it as well. So I don't say this very often. We could use a safety car to get it back together again. As DRS is enabled, we move to the front. Where we see Rusty Oilcan, Richie, Snellenk, and basically Rusty Oilcan, Richie, and Snellenk close to each other. It's the oldies. Yeah, really close to Spivey now as well, but I believe Spivey has some wing damage after he ran into Callum. It's a double stack at the Red Bull, it is. So this is not great at all. Jones, just drove over that guy's toes. Oh, that guy is nice in time. Hard tires for the Red Bull and a new nose. So there was damage on the car of Jones, and he took the hard tires. Which, out of experience, I know can go to the end. But a safety car will definitely help him with that. Goran really looking racy today. Great pace so far from Goran in his Aston Martin, and he's not letting Matty drive away from him. As Matty's teammate Leaky is under quite some pressure from Danos, who also puts down the fastest lap at the moment. And there's a yellow flag, and it looks to be Gerlach off at the long right-hander. Smith wants to know what the ERS is between Matty and Goran. It's 70% for Matty and 73 for Goran, so that's all looking close. Will definitely not make the difference now. As Richie is really close to a rusty oil can. Gela retired from the session in the pit lane, but that's not gonna. Oh, and Richie having a look on the inside. Gets the traction and real sensible driving from these guys here. And it's Snelle Henk now on the inside of Richie. Oh, and a little bit of contact there. Nothing too major. We got another yellow flag. Oh, that's Gerlach's AI driving out again. Looks like Rusty Oil Can is completely out of ERS. So this is an easy pass for Richie. Moving up into P5. Goran really close to Matty again towards the final corner. It looks like Goran used a little bit more of his ERS this lap. It's all about choosing the moment for the Aston Martin driver now. Sometimes you're better off harvesting some of your ERS while you can and are in the DRS distance, of course. And there's a yellow flag, and it looks to be, it's Iver. Who also, the Mighty Frax is losing a part of his front wing. His right end plate is off. Don't know if that had anything to do with the collision, but probably the stewards will find out if it was anything special, of course. While we focus on the fight for the lead again. Callum puts down the fastest lap 1:36.9. He's in P16 at the moment. And on the medium tires, so we'll need to box again. It's basically the last 6 drivers. Either towards all the way to Jones, who will be hoping for a safety car at some point. If Snelle Henk is off on the fast right-hander, the long right-hander. He had that in qualifying a couple of times as well, and he's now trying to go for a move on inorganic. He needs to keep it real tight now and pulls it off. It's a great move there from Snelle Henk in his McLaren. Goran still doing well in P2, putting the pressure on Matty and actually keeping the gap behind around 1.6, 1.7. Danos, he's been in P4 for a while already. Doesn't seem to be able and get past Leaky. Agui now finding his spot behind inorganic, 6/10. Well, inorganic is dropping slowly on Snelle Henk. Now gaining a little again. It's loads of gaps on track so far. So oh, and there's someone off. That looks to be the Mighty Frax, who just boxed as well. Cold tires for the Ferrari and led to a spin for him. While actually Matty managed to drop Goran now. Or maybe Goran made a little mistake because Leaky got in his DRS. As inorganic and inorganic cuts a corner there. Gets penalized for it as well and rejoins in a safe way. DRS is not enough there for inorganic, but we've got to see what Goran pulls off now. Now he needs to defend from Leaky. It gives Matty some breathing space. Matty used more ERS now as well because he knows this is the moment where he needs to create a gap. A little mistake from Goran, and Goran is under pressure from Matty, his teammate, and Matty is slightly getting out of sight. As Matty has a little moment on the exit there. Got a little bit out of balance on the exit curb. Now on to the first DRS straight. Is it gonna be enough? Leaky decides to just use his ERS and not uses his DRS and not his ERS as well. And Goran is getting towards Matty at the moment. Got 5/10 in the last lap, but loses 5/10 on this exit, so all for nothing at the moment. Goran breaking the slipstream on Leaky. And there's lots of overtaking happening for P8, P9. Here you can see the difference in lines so drivers make into turn 2. Trying to have a little look on it again with Zabiaka and closely behind Roosbeek. You see Zabiaka taking it a little bit wider here. Wow, I believe Roosbeek was a little bit tighter. Means he needs to brake a little bit harder for the turn 2 as well. Wow, the top 4, let's make it the top 4, are coming up to the first DRS straight again. Now Leaky can't only attack, needs to keep in mind that Danos behind him. He's gonna have a look as well, but Leaky is gonna have a look into the hairpin. Decides to back out of it and needs to brake really heavily then to actually make the corner, as he was on the inside. This might open up a little opportunity for Danos, who doesn't want to slipstream apparently. I thought he was going to. But this DRS straight is basically too short to actually go for a move if you're outside to maybe 3/10. Well, Matty dropped Goran to 1.7 again. Gets the ERS advantage as well. Organic and GUI are still going for it together. Anything can happen here. The Mercedes of Danos is still in it to win it, of course. One little mistake and you are rubber place. But it's just gambling on drivers making the mistakes. You can push them into it maybe a little. Within the rules, of course. As Leaky is 5/10 behind, which is just not enough. Especially not with Goran using his ERS as well. As we see again, GUI and inorganic side by side, and inorganic, well, GUI basically just braking to let inorganic pass, as he has the better exit now, and GUI goes past inorganic again. Now gives inorganic the DRS on this straight, but he's not close enough either. might be joining into that battle soon as well. Back to the front, where things still haven't changed. Oh, little moment now for Leaky. Makes Goran pull away a little, makes Danos get closer to him. Now both drivers make a little mistake, running a little bit wide into the chicane there. And Leaky from the onboard of Danos looked a bit slippery here, entering the long right-hander coming up the DRS straight. Danos does not know to keep up with him. As Matty is driving away from Goran now. It's 2.3 seconds for the race leader. Little look on the position changes. It's basically Leaky lost out to Goran, and the top four is still as we started it. Biggest losers at this point, both Red Bull drivers down 10 positions. One in 17th place here, Mr. Jones. And Callum, who's in P15. We will have a look on the time towards Sinful, which is 3.7 right now. Callum looks like he has a great car on the exits. Showed he had some great pace as well, as he has the fastest lap at the moment. And then we got a yellow flag. We got a yellow flag, and that's looked to be Spivey. Having a little moment there. Got the car back up and running. Sinful tries to brake all the way towards Iver. And Goran and Leaky are now trying to switch positions. Goran is really low on his ERS now. Did everything to defend from the Haas driver behind, who chose his moment. And as you can see, the red light on the back of the car of Goran tells Leaky as well that he's down on battery. Tight exit there from Leaky. Yet looking to Goran, you can still see Matty in front, so 2.7 seconds. It looks a lot, but it's nothing. Danos just patiently waiting behind, as Iver is right behind Sinful for P13. Not in the right place to actually go for a move. And, oh, Goran is off. Goran is in the wall as well, lost his front wing there. Such an easy place to lose traction on, and now, oh, for a moment it looked like he was beached on the curb there. Gets the car back up and running, but no front wing anymore for the Aston Martin driver. Just entering sector 3, so it will be close to the pit lane, but it will take a lot of time for him to get back, as Danos and Matty both are pitting. So we got the leader and the new P3 driver in the pit lane. It's going to be hard for Danos and probably hard for Matty as well. Yes, there you go. Can everyone seems to be boxing now. We're halfway through the race. Here comes the new nose, a complete new nose for Goran. Luckily, Aston Martin had some spare ones. Abiaka didn't use up too many of them, as he's known for it. Just like me. Roosevelt is serving a 5-second time penalty in the pit lane as well. It's going to take a little bit longer. Did he just go from hards to hards? It might be the strangest thing I've ever seen. Jones still in last place, although he does overtake Roosevelt now. 10 laps on these hards, if I remember right. I do. And they still look pretty decent to be on tire wear. We'll find out soon. Leaky doesn't want to be undercut by Danos, so he decides to go in as well. Will be no surprise to see his Haas driver going to the hards as well. As it does get a little bit darker around the circuit. I don't know if there's any rain coming, but just by the looks of it, Leaky now gets overtaken by his teammate, also by Gui and Inorganic, who are staying out. And where is Danos? Danos did not have the best outlap he could have. As you can see, the clouds are really grey now. Will we see some rain? That's the question. But Danos is 6/10 behind Leaky now. And Danos is the car with temperature in these hard tires. Is Danos gonna undercut Leaky just on one lap? He is going for a look now on the inside. Decides to take the better of it. Still Leaky, his tires don't seem that warm yet. See his braking zone just not coming together. And it's 2/10 now for Danos. Coming on the main side using his ERS, and that's DRS open. It's an easy move for Danos. And he moves into P4, provisional P2 at the moment for the Mercedes. We'll hope Inorganic and Gui, of course, stay out a little longer, so he can gain some time and DRS there. Inorganic doesn't allow him to. Dives in. Gui is on medium tires still, so 8/10, Leaky behind Danos at the moment. Inorganic is in, as I said. Ivor, P11 for him, has a penalty. More concerned about his time. Nah, he's on a fresh set of hard tires, 4 laps only. So there's only 3 cars out on track on the medium tire still. 13 laps for Sinful, 12 for Callum, and 14 for Gui in P2. Gui now the biggest winner. But as I said, with these dark clouds above and all the drivers being on the hard tires, if we see some rain, that would really shake things up. Danos now really close behind Gui, and Leaky will not enjoy this at all. Danos decides to go straight past him already. Doesn't want to stay in the dirty air of the AlphaTauri. Gets the DRS. And of course gets a car in between him and Leaky now. Is Gui gonna go in this lap? No, he's not. So another lap of dirty air as well for Leaky here. And an extra bit of defense for Danos. As RPM King Ping Quing joins the chat. Hello, hello teammate. Hello teammate. Smith actually updating me here in the chat that as it stands, Matthew will be leading the championship by 1 point from Danos. 2 points because he gets the pole point. And we got a yellow flag. What happened there? I don't know, but what I do know is Jones is really close behind the Mighty Frags at the moment. Ooh. Oh! Oh, Jones spins around there, hitting the curb a little. I might have jinxed that. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry for you as well, Chris, for jinxing your brother there. But look at this, Danos P2, 3-second gap towards Gui, who is still, well, I was about to say fighting Leaky. Leaky now gets past. And surely Gui will be coming in now. Yes, he is. Danos putting out the fastest lap, 1:36.8. Let's look at the fastest lap for a moment. Oh, wrong one. See, the pace difference between Danos and Leaky is a lot at the moment. Also between Danos and Matty, it's 5/10. So this might turn out in an interesting race if Danos found the pace on the hard tire, of course. Goran, who was unfortunately been off, still in P9, doing well in his Aston Martin. Did he burn all his ERS then? Not by the looks of it. Leaky didn't use that much. Matty now putting the fastest sector 2. The fastest lap point to the Tyler lead. Yeah, it does. So we're up for, after this round, of course, 3 rounds remaining. So we're up for a very interesting final in first division this season. Can we see the tires, please? Yes, you can. Yes, these are the fronts, and these are the rears. It's all nice and fresh. Nah, just kidding, Mr. Glassy. Here you go, the tires. Just the Mighty Facts and Jones who did a longer stint on them. Here you got the stops as well, for anyone who wants to see that. Callum did 2 stops. Yeah, there's nothing too surprising here, Mr. Glassy. Livia has entered the chat, she certainly has. There's a reason why I don't commentate anymore. But for tonight, we'll accept it. I mean, she lasted 18 laps. Richie, I completely forgot about Richie at the moment, but he started, I believe, P6, got himself out of trouble. He's now back in P4, great for him, Rusty oil again. Made up a lot of positions as well. Yeah, see, 4 positions. Snelle Heng, 5, 6 for Inorganic, 4 for GUI. Loads of stuff happening Behind here, there's both of the Aston Martins are coming together. Jones really close now. Going for the move on the inside in the hairpin. Took a little bit of a defensive line there to make sure the Mighty Facts didn't cross back on him. And now gets a 5-10 gap, which is enough on the straight. Yeah, so loads of gaps now on track. Everyone boxed and came together somehow, and now everyone's just pulling away. A bit of rain would be really interesting to see. Ooh. Ooh, Ivor is really close. Lifted his car a little bit there. Still got a great exit. Has the others as well. Now we switch to Goran. Oh, who gets the opportunity to switch it back here. And does. But is missing out on the DRS detection point now. It looks to be getting more sunny as well. The rain gods are not with us tonight. We'll probably see them on Thursday again. But we don't want it. Zabiaka, he is close to Gui. Ooh, touching the curb a little bit. Ooh, can almost touch Gui's helmet now. Will get DRS. Can he get the better exit as well? It would help a lot. Currently, first in the championship is, well, as things stand, Quinn, Matty and Danos. If we finish like this, Matty and Danos will be leading the championship together. They're equal on points. But at this moment, Matty is leading the championship. And provisionally, as I said, they're equal like this. Oh, Sabiaka, nice, really nice move there around the outside of Gooby. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well done, Zap. While I was telling something about the standings, you just take the attention away. But I'm glad I was on board. With also the only fight on track at the moment. So back to Gui now, as we like to follow the chasing car. Gui is falling outside the DRS distance now. So that's over. Someone who's falling, who is inside the DRS distance is Ivor. Seen Ivor missing the hairpin a couple of times today. But I'm braking a little bit too late. Let's hope that doesn't happen now, because then he will be right into the back of Goran. who will not appreciate that after being in P2 and spinning around, of course. Oh, Mr. Ivor, please keep your wheels inside the white lines. Okay. Meantime, for some other drivers, the Mighty Fresh. No assist, by the way. He's also under some pressure of Callum now. No assist for the Mighty Fresh. Callum. No, I believe Callum is running some assist. So we'll have some more traction maybe. As this track is really slippery, I found out myself. Ooh, nice shot. Ferrari and Red Bull close to each other. We've seen this multiple times in real F1. And we are gonna move to Ivor real quick. No, Ivor is not gonna make a move. See what Callum can do. Well, I'm pretty sure Callum is running some assist because looking at his throttle, his way of applying throttle tells me enough. Goes with DRS and DRS past the Ferrari of the Mighty Cracks. Who doesn't fight it too hard here. Ooh, was there a little moment from Callum? Not too sure. Mr. Jones, who is on currently 20 lap old hards, only needs to survive 5 more laps on them, and he will finish in 12th place after being last. So he will be happy if he can make up for that. But his teammate is behind him, and his pace looks great. Oh, and there's a yellow flag. And that might have been sinful. Moving over for his teammate Danos because of some blue flags. To completely drop Leaky. The hard tires are not shooting Leaky at the moment, at this round. But positive thing for Leaky is that Richie is not gaining massively on him either. So Rusty Oilcan in P5, he had a great race, nothing to say about that. He will be satisfied with it himself as well. Snelle Henk, quite a boring race for him, apart from the fact that Inorganic is getting behind him now. But finishing P6 in a boring race with, oh, Jones is in. Jones is in. And it's the softs on the Red Bull. Won't gain him anything. As he's in P16 and 11 seconds down on Spivey. So it won't gain him any points, but it will ruin Danos his dream about getting equal in the championship. If Jones takes away this fastest lap here, that will mean that Matty is still leading by 2 points. But Jones still needs to take away the fastest lap from Danos in that case. Is there a little bit of a conspiracy going between Haas and Red Bull maybe? Oh, Inorganic will get Snelle soon. Well, we're gonna see. We're on board here with Inorganic. So not to miss out on a nice outside move again. See the engine braking off inorganic here. And Zabiaka, yeah, you're right there, Hixie. Zap is arriving. And we know if Zabiaka is in his moment, he has some great pace and is able to win races as well. He said in the press room his best moment of the season was winning in Belgium. But it looks more like when watching behind, he had a massive moment there in the fast left-hander. Did save it. And Zabiaka is quick look on the tires. The tires are equal. Oh, Zabiaka. Oh, real late break and tight. Keeps it really tight. And now into the final corner. Oh, this might turn out. Yeah, Zabiaka takes the safe way. That could have lost simple and let himself from down. So I don't know. I don't think so. Zabiaka actually ruining the entry now for in. Okay. Oh, little switch back here from the Aston Martin. It looks really racy. Inside now for the inorganic and Zabiaka. Oh, another switchback. Oh, and Snelling spins around. So that's a free spot for both. And Zabiaka around the outside, but that's the inside here. And means the outside here. But it doesn't matter because he gets it done before the corner. Great driving here from both Inorganic and Zabiaka. And some great moves from Zabiaka as well. Inorganic was not giving up. But both drivers kept it really respectful and clean and fair on track. And that's what RPM stands for, of course. Zabiaka out of ERS, so maybe that little bit of ERS in organic S can get him back into that battle as well. As Matty must have been taking it real easy and safe because Dano has actually caught up with him a lot. And there's a yellow flag, and I don't know from who. Oh, Jones moving into P15, which means any fastest lap for him. Oh, which he has, but 134.9. Gives him 2 extra points. And ruins Danos his championship so far. Danos is really catching Matty right now. And I'm pretty sure that those tires are the same age. They are. I don't know what's going on here with Matty, who's losing loads of time. I need Smith here in chat to tell me what happens if Danos overtakes Matty on the final lap. What does it change for the championship? As Danos lost his fastest lap as well. We're going to stay on board with the Mercedes here. Okay, we're going to move to the middle of the pack a little bit, where some fighting is. Oh yeah, he has a time penalty. Ignore me. Well, let's see how much he has though. 3 seconds, so he will take it P2. inorganic has 6 seconds. He does, yeah. But he is in a safe place because he dropped Goran by 6.2. We're gonna find out. We're gonna move towards Matty, who's into the hairpin now and goes towards the final corner, followed closely by Danos. He's coming towards the line in his Haas. And it's the race win for Matty, followed by Danos. Great race from both drivers. Leaky, the other Haas, is coming as well to round up the podium. 2 Haasers on the podium. Richie, great race from him in his Ferrari P4. He will take that for sure. Great drive as always from Richie. Really cautious and just nurses the car home. Gets the points he can. P4 great driving. Rusty Iocan will be more than satisfied with his P5 after starting in 10th place. Zabiaka showed some great racing in the final. Yeah, he's happy. Final few laps, great moves from him. Inorganic takes P7 and Goran is outside the 6 seconds, so stays in P7. Goran takes P8. Snellen comes to P9. Gui takes P10. Iver P11. Callum on his debut showed great pace. Was a bit unlucky in the race, but comes home P12. Jones actually fell back all the way to P16 after boxing. Made up for it, finishing P13 and taking the fastest lap as well. The mighty Frax in P14. Rosebeach really goes in P15. Spivey takes P16 and we got Sinful in P17. Off day for the Mercedes of Sinful. But we all got races like that. Driver of the day, Zabiaka, I completely agree with that after the battles he's shown. It's not always about the positions making up. My personal opinion would be either Zabiaka or Sioyoken in this case. As Smith thanks me for Conswell. Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Much appreciated. One more time, the final finishing positions. I'll take a quick screenshot. Sorry for that. Matty takes the win. It's a full British podium as well. Danos takes P2. Leaky takes P3. I don't know why Danos actually is British here because we clearly talk Dutch in Discord. Maybe he has a double nationality. I don't know. Or he wants to be British. Richie takes P4. Rusty can P9 to P5. Great drive from him. Zabiaka P6. 7th place for Inorganic, outscoring his son Callum, of course. So that's something to talk about on the dining table. Goran Potner takes P8. Had a great race as well, but had that little spin which costed him loads of positions. Snelling takes P9. Gui and it finishes P10. P11 is for Ivor. P12 is for Callum. Jones takes P13. The Mighty Fax 14th. Spivey takes P15. Rosebeach is 16th. 17th for Sinful. And Gerlauer takes P18. That's it for me on comms. Gerlauer, of course, DNF'd. I'm sorry about that. Thank you all for watching. Are you interested in racing here as well? Maybe not here, but our different divisions. We'll find that out soon. Make sure to join RPM on Discord. Find us on Grid Finder or the joining link in the description. Got some friends who want to join. I mean, it's a family tradition as well lately. Invite them, get them in. We're back tomorrow for Championship Division. And I will be saying tune in again and have a good night.